Is there a white genocide in South Africa?
No, there's no sign of it, never has been. In fact, whites are economically the strongest group. They benefited from democracy more than anybody else. 64% of all boardrooms in South Africa are still white. The average income of white South Africans are vastly higher than black South Africans. No, they have better schools, they have better education, they have private health care. This is the land of milk and honey if you're white.
So in today's episode of Donald Trump embarrasses himself and the entire country in the process, he had a meeting today with the South African president and launched into a tirade about how there is, quote-unquote, white genocide happening in South Africa. And to be clear, there is not white genocide going on in South Africa. No human rights groups say that there is. The government doesn't say that there is. No news outlets say that it is. This is the work of Elon Musk and trying to protect these rich colonial farmers and move them to the United States on our dime. All while he is telling other people who are trying to come to this country and claim refugee status to not come here. So if you're keeping score at home, brown people who claim refugee status are not welcome in the United States, and white South African farmers who are not facing any sort of need for a refugee status are being granted entry. Like, if these guys don't want to be called racist, they really need to stop doing racist shit like this. It is so obvious to anyone paying attention that they are clearly letting these people come in because they're white, and they're keeping the other people out because they are black and brown.
Let's kick things off with President Trump's meeting with the president of South Africa today. And because it's Donald Trump, things got weird.
Death, 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 horrible death, death, I don't know.
What a host. Death, death. Hey, do you want a Diet Coke? Yeah. Death, horrible death. Now, the reason Trump turned this White House event into a murder podcast is that Trump is convinced that there is a white genocide going on in South Africa, which of course means there is no white genocide happening in South Africa. It's not even mathematically possible. I mean, you'll never run out of white South Africans when one of them is making 5,000 kids a week. But still, Trump thinks there is one, and you know he cares about it because he said white genocide. It's like someone told him, hey, it's not just a genocide, it's a white genocide, you know, the bad kind. And Trump's like, oh shit, get him in. But don't worry, South African president, there's a way out of this. Qatar got Trump a plane. What sweet, sweet bribe did you bring him?
I brought you a really fantastic golf book. Weighs 14 kilograms. And it showcases the golf courses in our country.
Yeah, you that up. You lost Trump at book, and you definitely lost him at kilograms.
Trump is engaged in what I call saber-rattling diplomacy, where he wants an apple, but he asks for the whole orchard.
Yeah, my people, and welcome back to the Kenyan Explorer YouTube space. And by this issue that we are based on from South Africa, and once Donald Trump is the great icon. This is a world icon. This is international icon. So whenever he speaks out, this has to be taken seriously. This has to be taken in a large weight. So when Donald Trump made that statement and what people are calling accusation against South Africa and South African government, there is the great steps that are happening. There are many people who are following up, and they have to know, and the world have to know the truth about this statement. And we, as Africans, we also need to verify this. So what we are requesting is that the people from South Africa, just like we have had all those clips that are played, those are the people, mostly the white South Africans. So when there is being claimed that there is a white genocide in South Africa, and the same people who are coming out to speak, most of them, these are the white people from South Africans who are declining the statement, say that this is a false statement. There is nothing that is ongoing there. More so, in fact, there is a black genocide that is happening in South Africa. So most of the people who have been moving, who are claimed to be the farmers who have been killed, the farmers are the ones who are being claimed to be killed so that their land can be taken away by the South Africans. And even those who moved, the Afrikaners who moved from South Africa and relocated to America, these are the people who are called as white African refugees who are being mistreated in South Africa. And that's why they decided to take that hard decision to leave their properties there, to leave their land, and relocate to America.
Do you see what they did now with Trump? How the white community have sent letters to him that they are in trouble. What Trump did is not what they wanted. This is the word of the Lord I'm giving you. Let me tell you something. The white community is not trying to run away from South Africa. So you own huge tracts of land, 20,000 hectares, and then you're allowed to go to America and be like any normal citizen and be a refugee. Do you think in the next few days you hear them saying we need our own country in South Africa?
But my question was, when you do your research deeply, just ask yourself these questions. How can these white farmers in South Africa, most of them, these are the rich people, these are the rich farmers, these are the people who are owning the large acres of lands. These are the people who are owning the large acres of land in South Africa, which even the South Africans and black people from South Africans cannot be able to own. And let me ask you this question. Do you want to tell me that you can just move from your place, leave your thousands acres of land there, your properties there, your richness there, and go in another place to be as a refugee? Possible? Can that be possible? So all these people were moving from South Africans to go in America. We have get the statements from South Africans who are saying that those people who moved from South Africa to go to America, they were not farmers. Those are just the people who wanted to enjoy a ride to America. So these are the statements that we are getting direct from the South Africans. And the people who are giving us these statements, they are white South Africans. So when we say that there is a genocide ongoing there in South Africa concerning the white people, then most of the people has called this a lie. So I don't know why Donald Trump decided to make this false statement before the media and before the international medias.
So in today's episode of Donald Trump Embarrasses Himself and the Entire Country in the Process, he had a meeting today with the South African president and launched into a tirade about how there is, quote unquote, white genocide happening in South Africa. And to be clear, there is not white genocide going on in South Africa.
Because let's first watch these people, and then we'll come back and do a critical analysis about it.
Is there a white genocide in South Africa?
No, there's no sign of it, never has been. In fact, whites are economically the strongest group. They benefited from democracy more than anybody else. 64% of all boardrooms in South Africa are still white. The average income of white South Africans are vastly higher than black South Africans. No, they have better schools, they have better education, private health care. This is the land of milk and honey if you're white.
Has any land been expropriated in South Africa without compensation since the first all-race election in this country?
I'm not aware of anyone. Not a single farm that I'm aware of was expropriated without compensation since 1994.
So how do we interpret President Trump's executive order?
It is possible that South Africa has offended the United States with its policy on the Palestinians, and it could be that with its policy on Russia, the ambiguities of those policies and its relationship with the Chinese. It could be. I think that does play a role. But there was something very, very sensitive that was touched upon. And in South Africa, right-wing groups, so-called civil society groups, we know that they have access to the Trump administration because they claim that. And if you listen to what Trump has said, it corresponds exactly with the genocide narrative that they sell and that they market, and that whites are victims of the democratic democratic system and the constitution and South African legislation. So there's an overlay, there's an immediate overlay, it's an unquestionable overlay between what Trump has said and these right-wing groups have said. So I'm afraid I have to believe them when they say they have direct access to the Trump administration, and we see it in what Trump.
So that was a white guy. He is a white guy in a way that he has he was to defend Donald Trump. But why does he has to do that when he believes that really that this is false? So when the white people are claimed to be the people who are enjoying democracy of South Africa, because when you visit South Africa, the most of the great investments are owned by the white people. Most of the lands are owned by the white people. The best schools and best estates to live, these are being enjoyed and owned by the black people, by the white people from South Africa. So that is what Donald Trump tried to do, is what he did to Zelensky. He ambushed Zelensky the same way, and ambushed him and put him in front of the entire world. And you know, as you see that discussion, that dialogue when he was with Zelensky, it made Zelensky to end the dialogue before even its time, and he walked out of Trump. So this gives a clear picture that Donald Trump, he has a target, and those people who have been moving from South Africa to go to America, we are being told that these are the project of Elon Musk, because Elon Musk is the one who want to come to and take over the territory of South Africa. He want to come and that's why they're coming up with the allegations to put, so that they can get the best reason to come and say that they want to control South Africa. And we are happy that the people who are coming out to testify to the world, they are the white people. If they would have been the black people, then we could have said that these are just the black people who are coming to defend things that are going in South Africa. We as Africans, it's not that we are defending this so much, but we need a clear verification about this, because we cannot support this. We as Africans, whatever we are fighting for is the good leadership, is our sovereignty, is our free independent. So we don't want, what we are fighting hard is that we don't want to let our African lands recolonized, and that's why all we want is that we are doing this follow up in deeper, so that we want to be clear and be sure about this. We don't want to be engaged in these murder cases. Our African's lands, our African continent is a continent of peace. All we need is a progress. All we need is a development. All we need is unity. And there's comments that I came across from the white people who are responding against this issue, and this is what they had to say. The people who went to America are not farmers; they're just from Gauteng, Lur. Farmers are here and happy. Farmers are not leaving South Africa because they are benefiting from the land. Those people who went to America are not farmers. Actually, farmers don't need a free ride to America. They can afford to travel. And this reminds me of a tale that was made by Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, the founder of Kenyan freedom, when he said that when the Westerners come to Africa, they had the Bible in their hands, and the other hand had our lands, and told Africans to close their eyes for prayer. And after the prayer, when the Africans opened their eyes, they found themselves having the Bibles in their hands, and the Westerners having their lands in their hands. So this is what is happening today. You know what impresses me so much is that in South Africa, the black South Africans are not owning any land. Most of 70% of South Africans' land is being owned by the white people, because during colonization, the white people were the one who conquered South Africa. And they were the one controlling everything that happened in South Africa. And that's the time they had that opportunity. And they looted everything. They grabbed everything from South Africa. And that's why when today you go to South Africa, 70% of the wealth and the properties that is being controlling the economy of South Africa is only being owned by the white people, who are the white African and the white people from South Africa. When you go to the large companies, they're all being controlled by the white people. So the white people, the black people in South Africa has nothing to control, and that's why you see Julius Malema every day is coming up to speak out, because he knows very well that they all, even though they are being felt like even though they feel like they have freedom, they are so independent, yes, but Donald Trump is so concerned in South Africa because he believes well that the population that is in South Africa, the people who are white, they're the one who are giving him, and that's a priority. They're the one who are giving him that power to have a say in South Africa.
Remember when Malema said this?
America can never be welcomed here in South Africa, in the African continent, because we know when they come here, they are coming to check what more can we steal and finish off this continent. We were so happy when the Russian foreign minister came. He was at home here. This is home. You should have looked at all the comments everywhere in the social media. Our people were so happy to have a Russian foreign minister here.
And when things continue to be like this, you know what? The South Africa one day will become the white people's land. Africa, most of them they're calling this accusation and allegations from Donald Trump, because there is no clear evidence of how the people are being killed. The white people are being killed. All those Boers are being killed in South Africa. Let me show you this clip of a white farmer who came out and said that this is wrong, this is right, this is false, and this is allegation.
Can we stop letting Donald Trump meet with world leaders? Please, how do we make this happen? President Trump confronted South African President Cyril Ramaphosa and accused his government of mass killings and land seizures targeting white people. And the reality is, South Africa does have one of the world's highest crime rates, and the vast majority of victims are black South Africans, not white South Africans. Despite online chatter, there's no evidence of a white genocide or state-sanctioned land grabs.
These are just allegations that are coming out, and we know that there is a target, there's a plan behind this, because so we as Africans, we need the clear information from South Africans, our brothers and sisters from South Africans. Please try to convince and try to prove to the world that whatever happened and whatever said there by Donald Trump is just allegation, but there's no anything like that happening in Africa. There's no clear evidence of what is happening, what's being said that is happening in South Africa. And by doing this, then we have to cleanse our name as African continent. We have to put that away. Those are the allegations that we are being put against, that we are the murderers, that we are the genociders of the white peoples. Tell me what you have in the comment section. Let's communicate about this. We are doing this because we love Africa, and we need the free, independent Africa. We need free, independent Africa, and that's why we are fighting so hard to know more and to find what is happening, really happening in Africa, because this is the place to be.